This episode is sponsored by Shutterstock.com. With over 20 million high-quality stock photos, illustrations, vectors, and video clips, Shutterstock helps you take your creative projects to the next level. For 30% off, head on over to Shutterstock.com and use offer code GAMEBREAKER7. This episode is also brought to you by Audible. For a free 30-day trial and to receive a free audiobook, just head on over to audible.com/Gamebreaker.
Gamebreaker TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Republic, episode 144 for July 1st, 2013. I'm Gary again. You're watching Gamebreaker TV, and coming up on today's show, we've got PTS patch notes on 2.3. BioWare have gone furry, and the color is the same, even though it looks like a different color. Seriously, bro. All that and more, but first, from Massively.com, it's Mr. Larry Everett. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right.
Is he covered in peanut butter there?
And joining us as always, Void Minx, Laura
Hey,
Williams. Hi.
Oh my gosh, Larry, your children. Oh, peanut
Wait,
butter
Laura,
and
look
mulch.
behind you. Laura, look behind you. Look behind you. Laura, look.
What?
Oh, nothing.
No kids yet here.
Do I have to call like child services or something?
No, it was
There-
peanut butter, not Nutella.
Oh,
There's a running joke if you watch our live stream that my children are covered in peanut butter and mulch, and apparently
your children are covered in peanut butter and mulch. We now have proof.
we have video evidence.
Wow, how do you follow that up? That kid's got me beat. That kid just stole the entire show. Does he play Star Wars? Get him over here. All right. I don't even know if I could follow that. Here we go. All right. 2.3 is up on... It just feels ridiculous talking about Star Wars right now. 2.3 is up on the public test server, and we've actually got some patch notes. So first up, the highlights. A new level 55 daily mission area. So definitely what the game needed, right? No question. Definitely. Absolutely, Laura. Needed much?
Yeah, absolutely. More daily questing areas with reputation grinds. Yay!
You love those. I know you love those.
It's fun.
Do we know where does this so do we know at all yet where this falls on the scale of good or bad on the daily scale yet?
No, because nobody can get to it.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Oh, why
there's
is
a bug
that?
on the PTS right now where you get a little cutscene to go to the Zerka moon at CZ-198, but when you go there from your ship, nothing happens. You just kind of go through the little cutscene and then black, you're still on your ship. And you can't take the priority mission terminal there either. Nothing happens. And apparently also legacy transport to CZ-198, also nothing happens, and then sets all of your other cooldowns for transport on cooldown.
Well, Laura, it is PTS, right? That's what it's for.
It is PTS.
So it's not live. So you cut the devs
It's a
a
little
break.
bug.
Come on, cut them a break. Maybe it's supposed to maybe it's I don't know. Black
It's
screen.
teaser.
Maybe they don't want to give away the story.
That's right. You should
That's
test
it.
it and
That's
not be
right.
able to see it.
That's what it is.
So,
right?
yeah, there's no quest text or voiceover. It's just all black, and that's how you test it. You just run around and never mind.
Sounds legit.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds absolutely.
This patch also brings 2 new. I know Laura's so super excited about this. 2 new rep factions with what a great start. What a great start here. Dailies and rep grinds. Oh my.
It was going to be awesome.
And there's silence. There's silence.
You know,
is that basically what dailies are being used for at this point, though? Just like
for rep grinds?
Yeah, that's it.
People still use it to get money. Still use it to get credits.
Do you really need credits at this point?
I personally don't, but I do know there is a whole bunch of people that still do, for whatever reason, still need credits. And
stacking those credits, stack those chips for a rainy day.
The rep grinds, though, I know, and oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this, but as a crafter of dyes, you get dye modules and stuff, the schematics at the top level reputation. So that's one of the reasons why I do the rep grinds, is because I sell dyes on the auction house. So yeah.
Well, if you're a completionist, you should do it anyways, because it's fun to watch that bar be completely maxed out. And this new one will be cool because we're actually getting a pretty awesome dye from it, primary black, secondary blue.
Mm-hmm.
So what are Laura, what are the new factions? Anything interesting?
I didn't write down what they are, but it's like an acquisitions for the Empire and then an acquisitions for the Republic.
Sounds kind of boring. Larry, you have any info on them?
Well, I can tell you the Zerka Corporation in general is that they've kind of actually who created them was that was created in KOTOR, I want to say. That was the first time we saw them, and basically they are a mega conglomerate corporation that pretty much does everything throughout the galaxy, and apparently they've kind of formed their own miniature empire where people that work for Zerka stay with Zerka. They live on Zerka moons and on Zerka bases and things along that line. And so they've kind of created their own little mini faction, and that's pretty much what we're dealing with here is Zerka and their whole.
The meat of the patch seems to really come in with these 2 new level 55 flashpoints. They are separate, but they kind of seem they do share the same theme, don't they?
Yeah, they're both Zerka oriented. Yeah, and go ahead.
Have you run either of them?
No. I'm having a little bit of difficulty on the PTS right now. I can't actually.
Kids running around with peanut butter and mulch.
That's what happens. They're distracting me. And
like whipping peanut butter at Dad. He's like, trying to run this new flashpoint. He's like, I need more mulch, Dad.
I can't believe you're getting in on the joke now. Yeah. No, I can't get on the PTS, and on top of that, there is they don't have that booster anymore, where it boosts you up to level 55 to test the things out. So, yeah.
Are you having trouble as well, Laura?
Well, I just finally got it downloaded without crashing on me, but they don't have a character transfer option, and I don't have a level 55 over there. So,
ouch!
BioWare,
what do you guys? Are we hearing anything? Like anybody? Are we hearing anything from the community? Are the people running them? Are we hearing good things, bad things? What are people saying?
What I've heard so far is right now the thread on the PTS regarding the new flashpoints. The people that ran it said that they felt like the instance was maybe a little too easy compared to some of the other level 55s. Except for the very last boss in the second instance, Zerka Core Meltdown. They said that was actually fairly difficult and a lot of fun, but everything else felt like it maybe needed a little bit of a boost to come up to 55 difficulty.
That's on normals, right? Because they both have hard modes, right?
No, they said that this was on hard mode.
Oh, gotcha. Maybe they need to do a little testing.
Yeah,
they said it was maybe a little too easy.
It's you got to kind of weigh that based off. Okay, these are guys that are posting on the forums, and that's not necessarily the average user. Now, that being said, our audience is probably going to agree with a lot of the forum users, I would think, in saying that it's too easy. So I would personally like to see, since these are new things, for them to be a little more challenging than what we currently have. And if they're even on par with what we currently have, it's a little bit. I think that would even be a little bit too easy. I would like to see the equivalent of what Lost Island was at level 50, because Lost Island was like a tier 2 flashpoint. Even for level 50s, you had to have a good amount of gear and a good, basically, I would like to see a mini raid for these guys, and I hopefully they'll do something like that, but I don't know. I honestly don't think so. I think they're catering to like the fresh 55s, the ones that are trying to gear up those kind of people, because honestly, right now we only have 3 55 hard mode flashpoints, and they get a little bit redundant. 4, yeah, they get a little bit redundant.
And what is this nonsense? Go ahead, Laura.
The only real negative complaint that I read about the new flashpoints was that they feel like it was actually one instance that was split into 2 to make it seem like there's more content. They said they're very short, which I'm not necessarily opposed to short instances. I want something that's quick, I can get in, get out.
What is this nonsense? They're introducing a role-neutral story mode, allowing players to quickly get a 4-person group together regardless of role. What is this? Guild War? This is the Guild Wars 2 show, right? Doesn't this game have the Trinity? What is this?
Yeah, no Trinity. Oh my goodness. I love this idea.
DPS groups.
Yeah, there will be a lot of DPS groups, but I love this idea of just being able to jump in there with whatever kind of role, and at the same time, the hard modes are still going to be geared towards the tank, healer, 2 DPS kind of format, and I'm glad to see that we have these for the normal or the story modes, so to speak, of these flashpoints.
Why do you think is it becoming too hard to find, like to be able to put together like a full group of full rounded group?
I think in general it's hard for it. I think in general tanking classes tend to be a little bit more rare because there's so much riding on the tanking position, and I think in general people just tend to be not very forgiving about people who are learning or who are not that great. So it does make it hard. If you're always getting bashed when you go in there, that makes you not want to queue up.
It just seems odd to me because of the Trinity. Like that just seems weird to me. Like it makes sense to me in Guild Wars 2 because there was the whole thing they tried to do away with it. So it just seems odd to me that this can even work in
But this
Star
really
Wars.
isn't the first time that they've done that, if you think about it, because back in Black Talon, and I know you're looking at level 10, but even then, that was designed for only 2 people. So you could certainly go in there and run that with, 2 DPS or a tank and a DPS or a healer and a DPS.
I guess I just wonder if the normal mode is going to be. I just wonder if the normal mode is going to feel like slightly like undertuned, and the normal or the hard mode will feel more in tune with what it should feel like, just to sort of compensate for the. Because it doesn't seem like the game is balanced that way. Like I don't really know how would they do that. Like, you just roll in there with like all DPS or whatever they roll in there with. Doesn't seem like the entire game works like that.
Yeah, it's definitely it's not balanced to be that way. I think what they've done, I don't know this for certain, but if I were to guess, I don't think. Obviously, they've tuned down the hit points a little bit, but I also think that they have probably tuned down the mechanics of the bosses and whatnot, so that it's not as pertinent to have a healer and a tank, to where you could. The worst case scenario is that you have 4 DPS, and so they probably tuned it so you can have 4 DPS in the group and still make it survivable. All DPS, including range DPS, all have some sorts of cooldowns and detaunts and things along that line, so they could possibly pass aggro around and make sure that the correct person that has the right cooldown available for them is able to grab aggro and take the damage, or
maybe that's just okay. Maybe the hardcore players out there who really want do the challenge are just going to go for the hard mode anyway. So they're just like, well,
Yeah.
we'll let the people watching the Republic just steamroll normal mode, and that's completely okay. And hopefully they'll have fun. Because that's what I'm curious. I'd love to hear back and follow up on this and hear how this actually goes. Because I imagine like some people are just going to steamroll this if you're a decent player and you've got.
I'm thinking that the whole design philosophy is for the story mode, and this even goes back to when I was interviewing Gabe Amatangelo for some of the other flashpoints. Is the story mode is to show everybody the content so they can so everybody can experience the storylines and whatnot that Tor has to offer, and it's more for the casual fun crowd, the guys that are doing this purely to have fun and not some sort of progression or anything along that line. They just want to get in there and do it, and I think that that's what they're offering here with these role neutral story mode.
But just to clarify this for everybody, this isn't replacing a current iteration of story mode, right? Or it's not an addition on top of it, or it's replacing.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think it's new specifically for this, and possibly going forward.
So is this is an addition on top of what we already have, on top of story mode?
Okay, this is not any of the existing flashpoints are not
do not
not
have
changing.
This.
Right, they're not changing. They're not changing, but the new ones that are coming out have this, and possibly for the ones going forward.
But what I'm getting at is this for the new ones going forward? Is it now that you have a normal story mode with a full group, which is tuned one way, and do you also have the option, or is this the same tuning as whether you have 5 DPS or a well-rounded group? And then this
is story mode.
This is story mode. Okay, that's what I was playing. So it's not another tier. Yeah. It's actually replacing story mode, basically.
Right.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And we don't know. Have they said anything about officially whether this is they're going to go back and do this with older instances to receive the same treatment?
I didn't read anything, but I would be surprised if they did.
I would hope that they would. I would think it would be great if they did, but only for. Let me put it this way: I think for group finder purposes, it might be a good idea to do that.
What are you saying, Larry? Are you saying group finder people suck balls? What are you saying?
No, what I'm saying is that right now you can actually go into any. If you find a team of 4 people, no matter what their class, you can go into whatever flashpoint you want to. And basically, I think the difference here is that they've fit that into Group Finder. They've basically gotten rid of the class slots for on Group Finder for story modes. And I think that would be great if they went back and just did that for most any of the other flashpoints. I don't think any other tuning needs to be done.
It'd be interesting. I mean, I could see them doing it, especially if these take off and they the numbers show that a lot of people are running them and having a really good time. I could see them going back. But all right, let's move on. 2.3 also brought with it. Yes, we talked about this a while back. The big graphical update. Larry, do the colors look more vibrant now? Is it noticeable? Do you see anything? Is there a change?
It is, well, okay, some people call it a monstrous difference.
Really?
Some people have called it a monster. I've seen screenshots of it, and I've seen comparison screenshots and whatnot, and I see a difference, but the thing that concerns me is that, gosh, I really hope they didn't spend a lot of time on that. Is really what it boils down to. What
did you sort of see the differences in? Is it like what really stood out?
To be honest, I mean the best way to describe it is that it's more vibrant. It's basically they
turned up the saturation knob.
Exactly. They just went, let's turn the saturation up just a little bit. Boom. Oh, that's beautiful. It's kind of what it is. I'm sure it's a little more complicated than that, or maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe they just need. Maybe they just need to get us into patch notes. Wow, big graphical upgrade. Saturation, turn it up a little bit. I mean, do textures look different or anything like that? Because that's usually what we kind of think of when we hear about a graphical update. We think about something with the engine and textures and lighting and things like that. But it literally just looks a little more vibrant.
Running around on the fleet on the test server, I didn't really notice a huge difference, although I was amazed at how shadows look because I normally don't run around with shadows turned on. So I was kind of like, huh, that's neat. But other than that, color-wise, it didn't really look any different to me.
All right.
Yeah, what we have a theory. We have a friend that's a developer who has a theory as to what this was, and we're just throwing this out there. This is a total theory. We're totally speculating, not basing this off of anything really.
So it's fact. It's internet fact, basically.
It's internet fact, absolutely. So the theory is that they are trying to optimize the engine so where it runs smoother and better on other
on an iPad
graphics cards and whatnot.
That's what it is.
On an iPad.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and so what they've done is they've actually eliminated some of the colors that are rendered in the textures and replaced them with higher saturated colors.
So they went to web colors basically, like in Photoshop. It's like
that's right. They are now 200.
It's not 300 DPI. It's now bumped down to 72 DPI, and you've got 8 colors to choose from.
It's 256 colors total. We are now running in animated GIFs.
Next stop, we just go to monochrome green. That's where we're gonna go to next. Right. Old school ASCII characters, just running on. Right. God, I'm old. Kids are like, what is he talking about? ASCII characters.
ASCII what? Yeah.
All right.
We're all going Oregon Trail. It's Star Wars Oregon Trail.
All of your family will die of dysentery.
All right. So the other big change here, which is actually a pretty it's actually a pretty significant PvP change. Although it's small, capturing the side turrets in Alderaan no longer spawns a side speeder. How that completely changes, I think, how this Warzone plays, doesn't it? Have you guys had any experience with this? Like, what's going on? I mean, it totally changes a lot. It sounds small, but
that's a mind-blowing, sweeping, monstrous change that kind of, frankly, surprises the hell out of me.
What was happening? Yeah, I mean, like, what was happening with the speeders, or what?
Basically, what happens, and it totally makes sense. The two ends on Alderaan, you capture those two nodes, and those speeders that go to those nodes are a little bit faster. They land closer to the nodes, and so honestly, if you are able to grab those two nodes, you're more likely to win the match overall. So if you're the first one to grab those two nodes, then most likely you're going to win. And so what they've done is they have by eliminating that, you don't have those speeders going there anymore. Everybody goes to the middle. They've kind of made, honestly, I think they've made those two nodes less viable and almost worthless to try to grab, especially if you're trying to grab the opposite faction. Like,
correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a little while, but I mean, before, if you took a side turret, it was kind of a challenge for the other team to take it, because defenders could fly in really quickly. And now I'm just wondering, like, what happens now? Is everyone just going to pretty much? You think players are going to hang mid?
Well, I think it's going to make mid more valuable if that's if you can get there faster. But one of the concerns that I was reading about was, are we going to see an increase in spawn camping at the mid spawn point? Now, true, people can't jump up there without dying, but you can certainly have range to sit there and stay and pick people off as they're coming down from the speeder, because Lord knows I've done that.
Yeah.
And you're still going to need to take at least one of the sides, because you need two turrets in order to blow up the other side.
I'm watching chat room. They're saying it definitely encourages more team play, which is quite interesting. I mean, I wonder if, like, at a higher end PvP, if players are actually liking the change, or is it possibly might be too soon to actually say? Have you guys heard any word out of any more hardcore
Everything
PvPers?
that I read, the thought on it was very mixed. Some people were very excited about it, and some people were saying that it's the end of the world. But I don't know. I mean, I've been in matches where we've held grass and mid, or snow and mid, and I've also been in matches where we've held snow and grass, and either way. So
yeah, I'm really curious to see I would like to see some of their numbers on this and why they believe that this is the best solution for that. I mean, honestly, I think if you're going to change anything, change the path of that speeder. Make the speeder just a little bit longer to get down to where it's equivalent to the amount of time that it takes for you to land the speeder in mid and get to the mid node. I would do the same. I mean, shoot, have it circle around the turret a couple times and then land. It doesn't really, that's
Maybe just have it not land as close, like land further back.
It's like a taxi driver when I'm in like a foreign city or something. It's like, all right, we're gonna take you the long way, and I'm like, I know this is supposed to cost me $14. Why is it $34?
The mid taxi does the same thing. The mid one goes around the turret and then lands. Why can't the side ones go around the turrets and then land? They've already got the precedent set for mid to do that. Why can't the sides do that as well?
Why can't the sides do it? Larry wants to know. He misses the speeder. Yeah. Devs, we want to know. Just change the end point.
That's right. Well,
just
the
move
other thing
point
is,
B a little bit farther.
Ed Park actually said whenever he was talking, we first introduced Alderaan and he first played it, he was like, he liked the idea of it circling around the middle turret, because what you can do as it circles around is get a really good layout of not, because you can already see your players, where they are by looking at the map, but by circling around the turret, you get a good idea of where the enemy players are as well. And I think that it would help overall, I think, if we just circled around the turret.
We'll have to see. Actually, PvPers, this is a good time. Leave a comment below. I'd love to know what the hardcore PvP community thinks about this change. Larry doesn't care. He's
saying that it's because of ranked.
Oh, it's for ranked?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Leave a comment. I want to know.
I don't know.
Larry doesn't care about you PvPers. He's shunned all
That's
of
right. I don't.
I care about PvP.
Larry said just pack up the PvP and go home, making it all PvE game.
That's right. That's why I'm all
If they got rid of PvP, they might be able to give you some sitting in chairs. Definitely not chat bubbles, but they could definitely move some resources. I fit it in somewhere. See. That's kind of it for, I guess, the major changes, but the Cartel Market vendors on the fleet have been moved to a second floor area, accessed via an elevator. Any reason for this change? I mean, it actually sounds more inconvenient, or was it just because of too much congestion and bottlenecking?
I think everything was getting really crowded on the fleet because they were moving vendors around to make room for it. So if they just give them their own platform.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that place is awesome. Those are the pictures that we saw last week.
For the Bounty Hunter event?
Yeah, the Bounty Hunter thing. That's where they all are. Yeah,
Larry was abducted by a UFO. He doesn't remember between last week and yesterday. I have missing time.
I have children running around with peanut butter and mulch. I can't keep track of days.
Maybe they're aliens. Who knows? Finally, the issue we talked about. I don't know if this was an episode or two ago. I don't know. Larry can't remember.
No.
Relic stacking is being fixed. Is that all taken care of at this point?
Yay! Well, they're fixing it now so that power proc relics and damage proc relics now stack again.
So what do you guys think of 2.3 overall?
Fixed it.
What do you think of 2.3 overall? Pretty good?
I think it's looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good? Looking pretty good? Anything missing, Larry?
It's going to be fun.
I'm excited about it. I really want to see what's happening with it. I can't wait to try out the new flashpoints. Everything that I've seen looks really nice. I especially like that we will have a cowboy hat finally on the Imperial side. So
yes,
that's
me too.
That's always a plus.
Do you think there's any possibility that they pushed the Alderaan change up and that it might have been originally planned for 2.4? They decided to push it forward to give the PvPers something new because we've been talking so much about how they haven't had anything in so long. I think
I don't know. I think that this was kind of a quick fix to try to. There's definitely a problem in the Alderaan Warzone because people grab those two side nodes all the time. That's the thing. You grab those two nodes, you win. pretty much, if you're the first ones to do it. And I think that they see that as an issue, and they're trying to figure out ways to fix it. I honestly, I don't expect to see. I don't expect to see this change make it to live. To be honest, I think
Really?
Yeah, I don't expect that to happen.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Their first solution for this didn't make it into the live either. Their first solution was the oh no, I'm sorry. There was a resolve system that didn't make it into live. See, I'm forgetting things.
It's aliens, bro. You've been abducted, apparently.
So late. But yeah, their first PvP solution. These are just little bitty things that they're trying out in PvP to see if they work and whatnot. One of the solutions, which was an Alderaan fix, obviously it didn't fix it enough, was when /duck extends 20 seconds. That one stayed in there. The resolve one, though, didn't. When resolve would reset on death, that didn't make it to live. So I don't expect this one to make it to live.
Well, the good thing is also that
it was your stun break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't make it in.
The good thing is that Alderaan is the only war zone on the PTS right now, right? So it looks like they definitely want to do some testing on this to kind of get some feedback. So we shall see if it actually makes it into games. So go do your testing.
Yeah.
All right. BioWare have officially jumped the shark. I want to talk about that, but first I want to talk to you guys about Audible. Love the audible.com. Go to audible.com/gamebreaker. Got to use that URL. And I want to hook you guys up with a free 30-day trial and want to get you guys a free audiobook just by using that URL. That's all you got to do. Just go to audible.com/gamebreaker, sign up, make an account, and put the app on your phone. Oh, speaking of phones, it's like this one. Now I have a white one. I am so good with devices and gadgets. I shouldn't say that because I'll jinx myself. But I cannot remember the last time I've like broken a phone or anything. And I was on vacation and got in the pool with my iPhone. And it was for like an hour.
Good job.
Gone.
Good job.
Gone. So just got this one. I got the white one. But my Audible app, I think it's a download, I think. But the Audible app was like one of the first things I actually put on my phone. So it's audiobooks on your iOS device, your Android device, your iPad, whatever you got. All you got to do is go over to audible.com/gamebreaker, sign up, make an account, and we're going to hook you guys up. Free 30-day trial and get yourself a free book so you can start listening today and check it out and see what it's all about. Larry, let's check out a Star Wars book. I haven't looked in a while. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. I need Star Wars. Let's look for a Star Wars: The Old Republic book. Let's see what you. Is
there Guardians of the Force?
Let's see. You've talked about Revan. Here's Annihilation, Star Wars: The Old Republic book 4. We got Fatal Alliance. We've got Deceived. We've got Red Harvest. Those are all the Star Wars: The Old Republic books.
Right. Red Harvest actually. Actually, I'm going to mention that a little later in the show. But Red Harvest is one that is about zombies. Let's go right in and say it's about zombies, and it is set 2 years before Star Wars: The Old Republic. So a lot of the stuff that you run into in Star Wars: The Old Republic is relevant with Red Harvest.
That's right here. Is right here. Red Harvest.
Yep.
Red Harvest. So you could be downloading Red Harvest today. All you got to do is sign up and make an account. Audible.com/gamebreaker. Sign up. Get a free book. Larry Everett recommends Red Harvest. Read by John Glover. Unabridged version, 8 hours. It says the era of the Old Republic is a dark and dangerous time. It is. Go check it out. Go today. Go over right now. Go to audible.com/gamebreaker. Sign up, make an account, download the app, and download Star Wars Red Harvest today. So if you guys haven't figured this out, I'm done. It's over. BioWare have officially jumped the shark. I'm really just completely over it. An Ewok companion is coming in 2.3. Why was this not highlighted in massive text in the PTS patch notes?
It's so cute.
Were they ashamed?
Probably.
Possibly.
This is Treek. This is Treek. Her name is Treek. You'll need 1 million credits per character that you want her on. Plus, you'll need a legacy of level 40, at least on PTS. I guess this could possibly change. Will you be getting Treek and using him exclusively, Larry?
Actually, it's a she.
It's a she. And yes, I have one character that is that I will be using Treek on exclusively. This character is a Sith pureblood, and the reason I'm going the racial animation is you can smack your companion and make him cry. So
Larry, you're such a dick. You're such a dick.
Can I read something that this is hilarious. This is I gotta read this. This is a quote from Daniel Erickson. This is pre-launch, and this was during like E3 2011, I believe, and he was live streaming Star Wars: The Old Republic.
I can't wait for this quote.
He says, and when asked, "Are Java companions Empire only? If so, do Republic get Ewok companions?"
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was the question. And in his answer, he says, "There are no Ewoks. I can go ahead and confirm that now. Endor, is not floating around yet in their time period."
And yet, there it is.
There it is.
There we go.
Possibly abducted by aliens and time traveled, and somehow made it to the game. So basically, what this is, wasn't it Ewoks that were originally put into the movie originally because they just knew that they would make like plushy, like cuddly toys that they could sell? Wasn't that really one of the reasons that they put them in the movie? Am I making that up? I feel like I'm not making that up. I feel like that's a real thing.
I don't think you're making that up.
I feel like that was like a marketing decision that they needed like some cute cuddly creature to put in the movies to then sell to children. Hence the 2013, and we don't give a shit about lore or story or what Daniel Erickson said. We need to sell some goddamn units, and damn is that cute. Damn. Smack that damn Ewok, Larry. Just smack it.
That's right.
Smack that stupid grin right off of that face.
Yeah. Knock the teeth out too.
Ewoks were originally put in because Wookiees weren't cuddly enough. Is really kind of what it boils down to.
Yeah, when's Jar Jar coming? Can we get Jar Jar next? Come on.
I can't wait. Except for Jar Jar. For Jar Jar, you have to pay 1 million credits to get rid of him.
Oh, that'd be a good one. I was kind of going there with you. I was going to say, what if you could hang him? What if you could hang Jar Jar if you purchased him and then you just like he has a noose and you just kind of like randomly spawn him and he's hanging somewhere? What's going on here? I guess they just don't care. They just don't care. Screw that timeline. That story shit. That. Forget those writers. They're long gone. Those guys left.
That's
those
right.
guys. Daniel who? Story writing?
Daniel. Yeah. Who cares about him anymore? He's
put a goddamn furry, cuddly Ewok in the game. People will buy it because it's going to be on the Cartel Market, right? How do we have an accurate price here?
They didn't say, but I'm going to guess it's probably going to be about 300 Cartel coins because that's how much HK costs to unlock.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing about lore. Before we go off on a tangent saying, "Oh, this isn't in lore" and that sort of thing. Technically, it is canon for it is within canon for Endor to have been discovered. In fact, according to the Star Wars timeline, Endor was discovered 8 years after the Treaty of Coruscant, and the Republic has a base on Endor, and so
next up, space dicks, unicorns, and rainbows coming.
That's right,
it's coming.
Yeah, and here's a circular thing. This goes back to Red Harvest that we were just talking about. Red Harvest was written for Star Wars: The Old Republic. Guess what book is the one that Endor was discovered in?
Red Harvest.
Red Harvest. It's It's circular. See how this works? It's all about merchandising. Merchandising.
Lucas the Chicken Neck must be sending over some notes, even though he sold the franchise. He's just like, you guys don't know what you're doing. You got to sell some units. Here, just draws this. Here's a picture. Put that in the game. You'll sell a gajillion units. Go. Yeah, there's also, yeah.
The companion does have some redeeming qualities. I mean,
there's also
it really
this
does.
is the companion customization option.
Yeah.
I mean, for an Ewok, I don't know. Is that as cool as you can get? I don't know.
Yeah, you had the wicked look, and now you have the low gray look.
So are you really defending
Those
this,
are-
Larry? Because I was going to ask you about, from a lore standpoint, if there'd be some questions over the legitimacy of this companion. But are you just like, F it?
The lore is sketchy. The lore is very sketchy, but let's get real. It's not the first
Can
time.
an Ewok
lore
fly a
has been
spaceship? Because that's
crapped
part
on.
of her background. Can an Ewok fly a spaceship?
Yeah,
Is
see,
that possible?
Apparently, this Ewok can.
Apparently, this one can.
And if you watch
Yeah.
the video that was up on Delphi, apparently this spaceship crashed and then she killed off all the survivors except for the droid and convinced the droid to teach her how to fly the ship. And then she flew to Nar Shaddaa.
The only redeeming quality of this, as far as lore is concerned, is that she is funny. The cutscenes and stuff with this with the Ewok is hilarious. I wish we could show them, but you got to go over to Dolphy has them, Dolphy.net. Go over there, look them up. They are hilarious cutscenes. They're really, really great.
So now that Larry's defended this, what do you think about Endor? I mean, do you think you think that we're gonna possibly get to see Endor as a planet now?
Oh, please, I hope not. I really hope not.
No?
No.
You guys are happy about the Ewok. I mean, now why is that so
I'm not
bad?
happy about the Ewok. I'm complacent about the Ewok. I'm like, okay, it's there.
What is
There's nothing
okay? I don't
can
want to
do
be
about it.
invested with them.
Yeah.
And if we're
will
going to
be
go to another
invested with them.
planet,
You
I'd
realize
really
that.
rather go to Dathomir.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah.
But yeah. Let's see. What is this? So last week we looked at some that blue and orange Mass Effect vehicle. Now we've got the Pink Shepherd knockoff.
Yeah. It's pretty. Laura, you want it, don't
It's
you?
not really very vibrant. I was disappointed. I was all set to buy it, and then I'm like, it's just not that bright. Maybe in 2.3 when they turn up the saturation.
The Gathar War Staff.
That is actually very cool.
That is really, really cool. I was really I did not think it'd be cool because it looks like, and honestly, right there, it looks like two swords stuck together at the hilt, which it kind of is. But
Kind of is. It's like two vibra swords with like a thing in the middle or something. But I mean, come on, let's be honest. It's better than a freaking level 1 fantasy axe, isn't it?
That's very true. I actually bought that and then unlocked it for all my characters so my companions can have it because it is really awesome.
When you pull it out, the actual sword piece shoots out, and it makes the Wolverine like shink sound.
It's really cool.
Claws. It's very cool.
And if you have a Cathar character and like a Cathar sorcerer or Cathar shadow, or not sorcerer, sorry, Cathar assassin and a Cathar shadow, you got to have one of those. That's like that's a must-have.
Can you give one of these
Seriously.
to Ewok? Fly your ship?
Yeah, drop that.
I want to go to Endor, man. Let's go to Endor. So I heard there's a party going on.
Yeah.
All right, this next story really confuses me.
Okay.
So confused. But first, gotta tell you guys about Shutterstock. Gotta pay them bills. I love having Shutterstock on as a sponsor. Thanks so much for Shutterstock for sponsoring this episode of The Republic. And we want to save you guys 30% off on your new account. Just use offer code Gamebreaker7 on checkout, and you're going to save 30% off. You're going to actually see a bunch of new Shutterstock stuff. I'll point it out when we're good. Shaftnit's in the studio right over here, actually working on stuff right. building graphics and all kinds of cool stuff, which we will show you on another show. But he's looking at virtual sets and all kinds of things like that. We're actually talking about this in another show. Show this up. A lot of you guys probably do like YouTube shows and green screen stuff. And there's actually a bunch of really good virtual sets on Shutterstock as well that you can download and use for your green screen work. So we were looking at those because we're pulling some of this. We're gonna do some green screen stuff. So a lot of these are just some of the ones that are fully done. Chef that's pulling some stuff. We'll show you this stuff when he's done. But he's got some like really basic ones that he's customizing. They're really cool. So whatever you guys need, if you need stock photography, vectors, artwork, working on a new logo for maybe another Gamebreaker media website. And we're pulling some different robots and things like that today. Be launching that soon. But check it out. We want to save you guys 30% off. I don't know how long this will last with Shutterstock. Super happy to have those guys on as sponsors. All you got to do is go make a new account. Go to Shutterstock.com, sign up, make an account. And on your checkout, just use offer code Gamebreaker and the number 7. And you're going to save 30% off on your account. Love the Shutterstock. We use it every day, single day right here on Gamebreaker.tv. We really do. All right, so this next story really confuses me. Let me get this straight. Correct me if I'm wrong. So players complained about Revan's armor being lighter gray in certain areas than it should be. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So BioWare looked at it and found out everything was above it was all the same color, right? It was all about the same color. They said something about like it lying on the cloth differently.
Well, they said it was the same color, but when you're seeing him in the flashpoint, it's in the shade, which makes the color actually appear darker than it is.
Who cares if the same color, if it's the same color code? If it looks like a different color, just change it.
Well, apparently that's too difficult.
I just don't understand. I don't understand why people want to run around looking like Revan. I don't understand that in the first place.
I don't know. I didn't think it looked bad the way it was, but I liked the sort of gray, beige with the bronze accents.
I mean, you dye an outfit, one part looks lighter than it should, so you use a slightly different dye to make it match, right? I mean, why can't BioWare just do that? What's the big deal? I
think they're using the same, the exact same clothing. You know, the stuff that they use on Revan, it's the same object. You know, it's the same polygon and texture and everything. It's not a different texture. And so, therefore, if they change one, they've changed both of them, and then the other one's wrong again. So
you know what's wrong? Covering this story. That's what's wrong. The fact that we're even talking about this just makes me sad. I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
So the companion, Arik Jorgen, had a rough night on Nar Shaddaa, apparently, and he's not looking too hot. You know things went too far when you look like this, right?
Yeah, it's ate some bad sushi or something.
BioWare have confirmed that it's a bug. It'll be fixed in the next patch. Pretty hilarious, though. Is this affecting Cathar players at all?
Apparently, there's a bug with fur color number 1 that's supposed to be fixed, and Arik unfortunately falls under that as well. So
he suffered from fur color number 1.
As somebody said, he looks like a Skrull.
He does.
He does. That's awesome. My Cathar doesn't have that issue.
No?
I think it's also because they added the fur texture pattern to his face, too, so it makes his neck look all corded and wrinkly. Yeah. Whereas he didn't have that. It was just smooth and all solid brown.
I'm at a loss. Laura Williams, follow her on Twitter at VoidMinx, VoidMynx, and of course come here every single Monday at 6 PST to watch The Republic with Laura Williams. I should use a Twitter bomb Laura Williams right now. Everybody go to the Twitters. VoidMinx, VoidMynx. Go. What do you got right now? How many followers?
I think 143.
Oh, come on. We got to do something about that.
That's not nearly enough.
We haven't done this in a while. These are fun. We'll check in next week and see where you go. Go right now and go follow her. It's VOIDMYNX, Void Minx, it's Laura Williams. Go follow her on the Twitter. Larry, you can unfollow him on the Twitter at Shadow, SHADDOE.
Don't unfollow.
Don't unfollow Larry. That would be weird. And of course, go over to Massively. Every single week, read the Hyperspace Beacon. What do you got going on this week?
I'm talking about the Ewok, the good and
oh,
the bad.
Great. I can't wait to read
ugly.
that.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Follow me on Twitter at Gary Gannon or follow Gamebreaker TV at Gamebreaker TV. Of course, make sure you follow our Facebook page, facebook.com/Gamebreaker TV. We got lots of giveaways. Lots of giveaways on the Facebook page, so make sure you go over there and like that. We do the show live every single Monday at 6 PST, so come on over for the live show. Have a great week. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week for some more Republic. Have a good week.